So what we're going to be doing is drawing an animal. You can find this animal online or take a picture of your own pet. As you can see here, the lovely Coltrane is going to be my model. Um, just pick something that you want to do. Make sure that, you're okay spending a lot of time drawing something. It could be a bird, it could be a fish, an insect. Really, it's up to you what you choose. I know that I did a series of drawings on insects that I thought was really fun, but today I'm going to be drawing Coltrane. So I want to make sure that I'm drawing big on the paper. I don't want a tiny little drawing right here in the middle, and there's my dog. She's little like that. That's not a very good use of space. Okay? So what I'm going to do is make sure that I'm drawing her in big. Now, I'm using my angles. I need to make her head bigger too. I'm drawing lightly. Remember, draw light until you get it right. You know what? I've already messed that up too much. Since we're just using computer paper, I don't mind getting a new piece. Move her head over. Get that angle right. You see how I'm using just basic shapes to kind of get the idea of where she's going to fill the space on this. And then I can always come back in and add more detail. Head comes up higher. And I'm running just different measurements and alignments to see where things will go, comparing different parts. To each other. Then I start to come in, now that I have kind of the basic idea of where she's going to be in this space, maybe add in a little bit of background. And I'm constantly referring to my image here because I want my image, well, the image has all the detail. That's what I need to look at. So I'm looking at the image a lot more than the drawing itself in this stage. And I'm just breaking this down into basic shapes. And fixing things as I go along. And looking at my image, I noticed that her nose actually doesn't stick out further than her eye. So I'm going to go back in and fix that. That's where that is. So now that I have my basic sketch done and she is existing on the page, kind of where she's going to be when I paint her. I'm going to start coming in with some paint. But not really paint, because a lot of us don't have paint at home right now. So what I'm going to do is use my old Coffe here. Now you can use coffee or tea or whatever you have lying around. I bet that Coca-Cola would work too, or any of the sodas. So I come in and I'm going to start just by laying in some of my darkest areas. Now you'll notice that it's super light. That's just part of it. We're going to be putting a lot of different layers on here. So that as you build it up, you'll be able to kind of see the form a little bit better. I take it back. It should really be darker than that. So I put it on the stove and I reduced it down by about half. This will make it a bit darker. For this first layer, I'm still going to continue in laying in. Can you hear my daughter crying outside the door? I'm going to continue building up my dark areas. And the stuff does dry a little bit darker than it appears when you first put it on the paper. So be aware of that. Now notice that I'm not really showing a lot of small details yet. I'm more focusing in on big areas of dark and light. We're just going to speed things up here for a minute. You can see how I lay in the basic shapes of all the big shadows.